out this inside center build that will be able to get Legend Rise Up for Record Pro-Am and NBA 2K25. So to start this build, we're going to go 7 foot, 248 pounds with a 7'8" wingspan. And make sure to stay to the end because those cap breakers are big for this build. But you will be able to get Legend Rise Up, which not a lot of builds have, especially at the center position. So we'll start with our physicals here. We're going to max out speed to a 69. We're going to max out agility to a 57. Your strength's can be maxed to a 91. And your vertical is going to go to a 77. So for your physicals here, the main kind of things that we're trying to get to, gold brick wall, just because you're a center. If we could go higher, you can up your weight, but you're going to lose some stuff in other areas that I think are pretty important. You do have a 69 speed, which is really good. 57 agility, being 7 foot. Then that vertical, if we click Y here, we'll go down to the Rise Up badge. You do have to have a 71 vertical to get the Rise Up stand dunk. 77 in general is just going to help us with other stuff. Now for finishing, close shot, we're going to go to an 84. Driving layup, going to go to a 48. Driving dunk to a 68. Your stand dunk's going to go all the way to a 98. Which takes a lot of attribute points. Post control, we're going to leave it at 61. Finishing, we'll talk about standing dunk last. 84, you get silver paint prodigy, which this is probably one of the areas if you want to lower down, you don't think you like that badge, you could go lower. I think this badge is big, especially if you don't get those contact dunks under the rim. You know, your close shot's going to activate. So if you have a really low close shot, you're probably not going to make a lot, especially against gold paint patroller and other badges like that. Driving layup, driving dunk. You do get some driving dunk animations with this. But in general, you know, you could get this posterizer up. You know, you drop close shot, you want to be able to drive dunk, you could do that. But I don't personally play like that. Now, as an inside center, you're really not going to get the roll early enough to do that. Maybe as a popper. I wouldn't suggest thinking about the driving dunk too much unless you plan on trying to just take the ball to the rack like that. But in general, you want to be able to, if you get the ball into the rim, you get a rebound, you want to be able to go up with your close shot or get your stand dunk. This isn't really like a quote, but like post scorer build. Sometimes when I make center builds, players think that it's going to be an inside center means a post scorer. That's two kind of different play styles. I can kind of break that down in another video, but there's a big difference between being an inside center, especially in Rec and Prime, and a post scorer. The badges and the setups are different. So 4 kind of comments around that. That's why post control is not going to go up. You do get hook specialist bronze. You could push this to a 65 and get silver if you want to score like that, and that's considered post score-esque, but we're not going to focus on that. For shooting, it is an inside, so we're not really going to have any shooting. You're actually going to be able to get a 69 free throw as well. The only reason being you push this higher, your midi and 3-point start going up as well, and we don't want to push those attribute caps higher and take away from other areas of this build that I think really make this build polished, in my opinion, and can do some damage, especially if players know what they're doing, especially with this Legend Rise Up badge. So playmaking, we're going to go 87. I found with 87 that it's kind of like the sweet spot for me, just watching and seeing the game. Hall of Fame break start is ideal for any record pro-am. It's just going to be better animations. But at that 87, you do get the gold break starter. I think you do get like the LeBron package. If you go 89, you get Tyrese Halliburton, which I heard is really good. But I'm going to stick to 87 just for the gold break starter, save some of our points. We're going to stay with a 52 ball handle. And you do have some points left over. I threw them in the speed with ball at 39. And again, this isn't going to like take your build to a whole completely different level. But if you do end up, you know, having to go make a play with the ball in your hand, 39 compared to 29 is a little different. Nothing insane. There wasn't really any other areas. I could upgrade defensive rebound 1, or I could put 10 in speed with ball. And so kind of your preference when you see it and you start building the build out. But again, pass accuracy is big. You do get a lot of good badges here. Some people, if they can get away with silver, you could drop it. That's just another area. So right now our setup's looking pretty good in my opinion for an inside center, and especially like knowing your role. You're going and playing maybe solo rec or have a team. So defense, this build does play really good defense. And we're going to go 77 interior. We're going to go 62 perimeter defense. We're going to go 60 steal. We're going to go 93 block. So for, you know, the defensive setup here, The 77, again, just to get the gold paint patroller, I think it's a must-have badge in my opinion. Your perimeter defense is 62 threshold, get you a movable enforcer, which is just going to help you be able to, you know, if players are coming downhill at you, stop all that type of stuff. 60 is the threshold to get your bronze interceptor. You could push it a little higher. You can actually get glove. So if that's an area that you want to try to go get, you can. There are instances that could come in handy. I don't necessarily think it's, you know, very smart to do, but if you lower this down back to 29 where it was, maybe you could push it up higher towards the end. So your speed with ball, maybe again, if you don't like close shot, you could get a bronze glove, which again, if you're going to get centers and they're posting up on you, maybe you can get an animation here or there. And then block, you're going to get silver pogo stick. That's where, you know, if you go into 94, you do get gold pogo stick. It's not an area that I could kind of figure out to where to put the stuff at, so we just stay with 93. I'm kind of staying with that. And then for your high flying denier, if you want that gold, again, you can push the vertical higher to the 80 threshold, pending, you know, other areas that you put. So kind of some maneuverability here with this build on kind of how to put it to your play style. And then rebounding, I'm always a big proponent of as high offensive rebound as you can. So we're actually going to go 92 here, and that's going to give us the gold rebound chaser. And again, you drop this to the 10, you know, you do have some attribute points here to mess with. And again, like I was talking about, you can only go up 1 with your vertical. You can go up 1 here. You can't even push steel too high. It goes to 63. So there's not a lot of, if you build it the exact way I said, this is what you're left with behind. So you can push your driving dunk 1 more. There's not a lot of areas that you're going to be able to move it unless you take something out of this. And so that's where the speed with ball, to me, you could up at 10. You could actually go ball handle up 2, but that just seems like it's not really going to do much for you. That's why I just added 10 to the speed with ball, just to, like I said, be able to move. So in general, when you look at this build, it's really balanced. It's max wingspan, 7'8". It's 248. You're going to get all the key badges that you need. And this is what we'll talk about, the cap breaker. So, you know, you get +5 cap breakers at starter 3. So it is a little bit of a grind, but to really finish this build is going to be good without it. So I know some players or people are making like builds that are not horrible, but they have a lot of polishing to do with that +5. So with this one, you still have a 98 stand dunk no matter what. But with that, your first cap breaker +1, of course, is going to go here. It's going to give you the legend rise up. As you can see, that's the requirements at the bottom. 99 stand dunk. We have the vertical. So everything's covered here. You're not going to miss on any of the attributes that you need to get that legend badge. Now your +4 is going to go into your offensive rebound. And the reason that you don't have to do it this way, so if you want to build it differently, you can. The +4, if you think gold's good enough, then that is. But I like Hall of Fame. So your +4 going to go into offensive rebound, pushing it to a 96. So the other thing is, and this is just a tidbit for anyone building this, if you don't like the offensive rebound setup, I'm going to show you kind of a glitchy way to like get attribute points. But again, I think offensive rebound is better. So you lower down the offensive rebound. Let's just take it as low as we can go before it starts messing with it. Now you can up your defensive rebound. Let's say if we want to hit the same thresholds to a 92. So now, as you can see, you have a whole bunch more area to work with lower offensive rebound. And so you can actually like do a lot more with this build in general. But like I've said, I think the offensive rebound is way better. So I'm going to switch it back, but I was just showing people that that is also an area that you could mess with in order to get this. But use your +4 here, get that Hall of Fame. If you don't like that, you have a +4 to mess with other areas. So if you come to maybe like a block, you might be able to push this up. We have 4. We need an 84 interior, so you can't do that. So you have to like move things around and see what you can get. But I highly suggest getting the Hall of Fame. You're going to have legend, stand dunk, Hall of Fame rebounding. You're 7 foot with a 7'8" wingspan. I think no player is going to be able to really battle you down low. The only other players that might be able to is like the 7'1s. But in general, if you get good position here with the vertical, everything that this build has, I think you should dominate pretty much every game that you're in. If you position yourself, you can steal lanes. You're going to be able to get contests with your perimeter. So in general, this is an all around really good. I say the weak points, your free throw, but other than that, this build has no weaknesses. It is really fast, 6'9" or 69 speed. So with that, we'll go to the shades of and see kind of what player name we get and who this player is like. So we go to shades of. We get Wilt Chamberlain, Rudy Gobert, and Clint Capella. Really, 3 really good. Of course, Wilt the best, but Rudy Gobert and Clint just defensively, it's nice to see that. So we have an interior scoring playmaker, and also just to run through some of the dunks that you will be able to get with this build, because I know it had a low driving dunk, but you're still gonna be able to get like pretty good like driving dunk animations, like rim grazers, hangs, pretty much all the driving kind of dunks that you would want. No back scratcher, don't put those on. Even 1 foot here, you can see you'll be able to get. And so you can kind of go through these and see, you know, some of these animations look pretty fast when you're like going at the rim, like some of these. And then standing dunks, you get every single one of them, of course, whenever you get to, especially that legend. But you're going to get some crazy contact stand dunks, the pros. And then for your actual signature dunks, you know, you get your Draymond Green. So again, a driving dunk, more of a signature dunk. You're going to get Shaq, a lot of stand dunks under the rim. You're going to get a lot of good contacts with that. And then you also get Dwight Howard, which prime Dwight Howard, probably one of the best, you know, stand dunk ones. So that's just some of the ones that you get. So if you want to kind of be able to drive in, you can do those. Like I would probably say just go like Shaq or somebody like that with this build. Jump shot, of course, you don't need. And then, of course, you get the LeBron pass style, which is really good. And so to do it for this video, this is the best inside center build for NBA 2K25. I have a lot of other Pro-Am and Rec videos on the channel, so make sure to check those out if you're a full team or if you're going into Rec solo. I think a lot of good builds that could help you. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.